J-Dub is back at it here to give everyone another Walking Dead Season 10 episode reaction video. But before I get into that, it's extremely important to know that I watched this episode early on AMC Plus. So if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching The Walking Dead, I suggest that you take the initiative and pay attention to the episode title, which of course I'll put in the description for you. If that's the case and you find out that you're not caught up, I suggest, and so does everybody else, that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This is going to be The Walking Dead Season 10, episode number 21. The title of this episode is called Diverged. This will be my reaction, review, recap of the episode. And remember, again, I watched this early on AMC Plus. So the episode starts off with Daryl and Carol coming back from their adventure by Leah's house. They're walking with Dog on a path in the woods. And at one point, Daryl says he apologizes for what he said about Connie to Carol. And Carol's like, no apology needed. And then Carol's trying to open this water canister thing. And she needs a knife. And Daryl hands his knife to her to open that up. She drinks some water. And then they give Dog some water. And then eventually Daryl's like, well, I'm going to keep looking for stuff out here. And Carol wants to go back to Alexandria. So they kind of split off. And Dog actually follows Carol. So Carol goes back to Alexandria, runs into Jerry, and has a very interesting conversation with Jerry where basically she wants something to do and she wants Jerry to give her an order of something to do. And eventually they agree that Carol's going to cook something. There's not many options right now in Alexandria to cook something, but she's going to find something that she can cook. So her and Dog go back to her place. And at one point, Dog starts to get really finicky and crazy all of a sudden. I don't know, because apparently there is a rat in the house, and that's apparently what got Dog all riled up. So at one point, Dog's trying to get this rat, and Carol like yells at him to stop, and then Dog starts missing Daryl and all this other stuff. And then Daryl, in the meantime, his bike has a malfunction because I believe the belt is broken or cut or something to do where the bike's not operating properly anymore. So Daryl needs to find some new parts to make it work again. And he runs into some trouble where some walkers are in the woods that he's trying to acquire something to, get the belt. And then he needs something to cut the belt with because he doesn't have his knife, little box cutter, well, not box cutter knife, but Swiss Army knife that he had, that he gave to Carol. So back to Carol's situation. She's freaking out. She goes out to pick some flowers or spices or something like that. She kills a bunch of walkers. Jerry's worried about Carol. He thinks there's something wrong with her. Carol is kind of having a meltdown of sorts, even though she kills all the walkers. Things aren't going right for her. So she goes back to the house. She tries to sleep. And then Dog wakes her up in the middle of the night, hearing the rat crawl around, I'm presuming. And at a certain point, Carol gets mad where the rat's hiding in the cooking area behind the drywall. Carol starts stabbing holes into the wall and to try to get this rat. She doesn't succeed. And Dog comes over there and lays next to her like, it's okay, Carol. I'm here for you. Daryl fights off all these walkers. He eventually finds a Swiss Army knife combination thing with like screwdriver, Phillips and all that from a walker that had like some camouflage stuff on with backpacks and fanny pack or something like that. He gets that. He eventually fixes his bike where he can ride it again, which is good because Daryl needs his bike. That's his thing. And Carol is in the cooking area, kind of digging around, and Jerry's there, and he just wants to talk to her again. He's like, it'll be okay, Carol. A friend, I believe in you and all that. He tries to quote King Ezekiel, things like that, and that ends. And then Daryl shows back up at Alexandria to Dog's happiness. Dog is very happy. And then Carol tries to give Daryl the knife, the Swiss Army knife that he gave her back. He's like, I don't need it. You can have it. It's yours. And he kind of they're kind of cool now. Like, this episode was misleading because it said that Daryl and Carol go their separate ways. Well, they just went their separate ways. He's going to hunt more. She's going to go back to Alexandria. And I think a lot of people thought they were done after this episode until their alleged spinoff that's going to happen. So they have that moment, and that's really the end of the episode. Daryl and Dog go to Daryl's house. Carol goes back and goes to her cooking, I presume, and that's it. And the rat had come out while Jerry's talking to Carol, but she didn't go after it at the moment. So not the best episode. These bonus episodes haven't been the best, other than the premiere, and I guess the Aaron and Gabriel episode was better than I initially thought. As far as a score, this one, I mean, there was a lot of like nothing in this episode. There was a lot of like Carol cooking, but like nothing interesting. The conversation with Jerry and Carol seemed awkward, and Dog getting all finicky was different but entertaining, I suppose. I hope I'm not leaving anything out. I didn't take any notes because I find myself annoyed if I have to take notes for these more lackluster episodes. But yeah, that's pretty much how that happened in the episode. Is Carol, Jerry, Daryl, and Dog. That's all you got focused on. Nobody else. And I was not a fan of it. So as far as the score, I thought the last Carol and Daryl episode was rather lame. That one was 100 times better than this one. This one, not a lot happened at all. It was focusing on Carol cooking and Carol like walking around. I didn't like it. So I'm going to give it a 6.2 out of 10. A lot of people would probably give it a lower score. I'm factoring in that these are bonus episodes filmed during a pandemic and that they had to be kind of different with these particular episodes. They're way more character developing episodes. They don't have like a faction or a group coming after them because they had to be kind of different with their filming. So 6.2 out of 10. The character of the episode, I'm going to give it to Carol. I really considered giving it to Dog. Hope they do better with the next episode, which is going to be Here's Negan. That episode should be amazing. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. So you've heard what I have to say. I want to hear what you say. So if you don't agree with my opinion, keep in mind it's my opinion. Let me hear what you have to say. Tell me what you liked. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead and you like this episode, Diverged from season 10, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you don't like this episode but you're a Walking Dead fan, make sure you smash that like button. We always want a lot of likes. If you know anybody that would be interested in this, go ahead and share the video to them. Don't forget to leave me comments. Tell me what you thought about the episode. Give me your score. Anything you can think of pertaining to this episode or anything Walking Dead related, that's fine. Leave that in the comments section. Of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.